Cool, warm, cool, warm, cool, warm, cool, warm, cool, warm, and then my black and white, which I do not have a black and white in that box. So I've got my very lightest yellow and the Terry Ludwig Dark at D19. And so for my trees, I would start out with something other than green. So I'm going to use the blue to block it in because I think it's cooler than the grasses in the front. And it's darker. And say it's a little bit lighter, but it's still in that blue range. So even though this is a warmer blue, it's a cooler green. Cooler green, and I know I'm going to have to lighten it up. It's way too dark. The background, I'm going to go back, the back mountain, I'm going to go with a little bit lighter one. And that means I'm going to come back with my light to lighten this up. I'm going to do the same thing with this one back here to lighten it up. And remember what we did with the sky the other day was I used my red and my white to lighten it up, which is a very, very pale yellow again, which keeps it from looking quite as chalky maybe as the pure white would do. The field behind the barn is a wheat field, and I'm going to just go ahead and put in this dark ochre color. That is my cooler orange. So I know I can lighten it up. We always work from dark to light. The field in the front or the barn, excuse me, I think the barn is weathered wood and it tends to look purple to me, so I'm going to put in this purple. And the fence alongside it. The roof line is, the roof is fairly light. I'm just going to go ahead and use my light on that roof because it's pretty light. All right, now back to the grass, and because I don't really want to start with the green, and I'm going to do what I tell y'all to do, is put the complement under it. Okay, I have one color everywhere, even though I did lighten those up and that. I did it to help me get a little bit of aerial perspective with this limited palette. So now I want to go back in and start getting it a little closer to reality. So I'm going to lighten up the field, and the yellow is the lightest thing I have without it being white. So I'm going to go back in with the yellow to lighten that up. Because if you will think about lightening things by traveling around the color wheel, it'll help. So I'm going to also use this light green to lighten up this turquoise, hopefully. In the foreground, I know that there's some light area here, so I'm going to add this on top of my red. It's a little lighter. Here. And it's getting a little darker as it comes toward us. I'm not lifting it up, I'm moving it along and blending as I go, rather than picking up and laying a stroke down. And go back and brighten up this area. I can also use my yellow to lighten up that green. my really light one. There's some little flower things over here. I don't know what they are. There's some little stuff growing up behind it. So I start putting little dots and dashes and things to make it look like there's some texture there. Big mass area. And back to the light side of that tree. Out of the barn. I think I'll brighten up the roof with some of the yellow, maybe a little bit of the pink. I don't have to be true to what I see in the photograph. Piece of roof, like a little lean-to section over here that needs a little thought. There's a hay bale in here. I'm using the yellow now to help modify the green grasses. And I'm moving up and down because I know this is a very tall, grassy pasture. And I'm leaving spots that are a little dark to help it look like some grass is taller than other. Back with this really nice warm green for accent marks. There is a little bit of orange, I think, in some of the grasses, so I'll pick it up and move into the grass a little bit. Very lightly touching. So I'm still modifying this grass. Now I want to get back to the sky again. I'm going to use the aqua in the sky. That pale yellow to blend it in. Some of the darker blue up at the top, like I talk about the zenith being cooler and darker. Back with my light. I like it better with color on it than I do light. I tend to not like really light roof. So I'm probably gonna think this roof probably has some rust in it. So I'm probably gonna go in and put something in there to make it look a little better than that light. There's always stuff laying at the base of a building. So I'm gonna put some little marks in and some dark foliage growing along the edge of the building. Try to decide, is there anything I could do to make it more pleasing